Have you ever met someone who simply doesn't use Instagram? Not because they forgot their password. Not because they're too old. They just don't want it. At first, that seems strange in a world where almost everyone shares their life online. But what if there's a deeper psychological reason behind that decision? And what if some of those reasons could actually make life feel better? Psychologists have noticed something interesting. People who avoid Instagram often think differently about attention, identity, and social validation. That doesn't automatically make them better or worse than anyone else. But their mindset often reveals patterns that most people never notice. Understanding those patterns can tell us a lot about human behavior. Imagine two friends attending the same party. One spends the evening taking pictures and checking reactions online. The other simply enjoys the moment. By the next morning, one person remembers likes and comments. The other remembers conversations, jokes, and experiences. Neither approach is completely wrong, but they shape memories in very different ways. Many people who avoid Instagram share a common habit. They tend to pay less attention to how experiences appear and more attention to how experiences feel. They're often less concerned with documenting every moment. Instead, they focus on living it. That difference may seem small, but psychologically it can have a surprisingly powerful effect. One hidden reason some people avoid Instagram is identity protection. Social media often encourages people to build a public version of themselves. Over time, that version can start influencing real behavior. Some individuals instinctively resist this pressure. They prefer their identity to develop privately rather than publicly. There's also a biological explanation. Every notification, like, or comment can trigger dopamine release in the brain. Dopamine isn't happiness itself. It's the chemical that drives anticipation and reward seeking. Instagram is designed to repeatedly activate this system. People who avoid the platform may simply prefer not to participate in that reward cycle. Think about a hike in the mountains. One person enjoys every step and every view. Another keeps wondering which angle will perform best online. Again, neither person is necessarily wrong, but their attention is focused on very different goals, and attention shapes experience more than most people realize. A common mistake is assuming people who don't use Instagram are antisocial. In reality, many are highly social. They simply prefer direct interaction over digital interaction. Another mistake is assuming they're missing out. Sometimes they're intentionally choosing a different kind of connection.
At a deeper level, many non-users value psychological autonomy. They like making decisions without constant outside influence. Social platforms subtly affect what people buy, think, compare, and desire. Some individuals become highly aware of this effect. Choosing not to participate can feel like reclaiming mental space. Here's something unexpected. Research suggests that frequent social comparison can increase feelings of dissatisfaction. Instagram naturally encourages comparison because people mostly share highlights. People who avoid the platform often reduce the number of comparison triggers they encounter each day. That can significantly change how they evaluate their own lives. Relationships can also be affected. Without constant updates, people often rely more on direct communication. They call, text, or meet in person. This doesn't automatically create stronger relationships, but it can encourage deeper conversations. Sometimes less online visibility leads to more real-world connection. You don't need to delete Instagram to learn from this psychology. Instead, try asking yourself one question. Are you using social media intentionally or automatically? Small changes can make a huge difference. Even taking occasional breaks can help you regain awareness of where your attention goes. The biggest takeaway is this. Attention is one of your most valuable psychological resources. Whatever consistently captures your attention gradually shapes your thoughts, emotions, and memories. Instagram is ultimately an attention platform. The question is whether you're consciously deciding where your attention goes. People who don't use Instagram aren't necessarily rejecting technology. Many are simply making a different choice about how they spend their time and attention. Their decision reminds us of something important. Just because a behavior is common doesn't mean it's required. Sometimes the most interesting psychological choices are the ones people rarely question. So what do you think? Would you be happier, less stressed, or more focused without Instagram? Or is it an important part of your life? The psychology is fascinating because there's no single correct answer. What matters most is understanding why you use the tools you use. If you enjoyed this psychology breakdown, subscribe for more videos that reveal the hidden forces shaping human behavior. And here's a question for you. Could you go 30 days without Instagram? Let us know in the comments.